Happy Friday, guys, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Dubs. I'm your host, Bill T. Well, it's Friday, and you know what that means, another podcast. And even better, today we're doing a roundtable. So I got George T in the house with me today. We're going to get into a roundtable, but before we get into that, make sure you guys support Let's Talk Dubs. Go to VW Trends Magazine, a magazine for the people, by the people. Go subscribe today at vwtrendsmagazine.com. Also, for some high quality aftermarket parts for your Volkswagen, some jewelry, some stuff that gives you a little performance, a little bit of sizzle, a little bit of sazzle. Go check out Ross Wolf. Some of the high quality parts these guys are making. One of the cool things they're working on right now is like high performance seals, Viton gaskets, which are reusable silicone based gaskets that you don't need to put sealer on, and they seal permanently like new cars. So they've got them in the sump kits, and they've also got them on the pushrod tubes. I like a lot of stuff they got. If you got a bus, they got stuff for you. If you got a bug, they got stuff for you. Any type of VW motors, they've got stuff, performance and jewelry, eye candy type stuff. So go check them out today at rosswolf.com. And don't forget to use the code LTD10 for 10% off your purchase at Ross Wolf. So go check them out today at rosswolf.com. Icon pistons, the highest quality aftermarket pistons that you can get for your Volkswagen that are manufactured specifically for Volkswagens. That carry them in 85.5, 94, and 92 millimeter. These pistons are high quality, made of high silicone 4032 forged alloys. These pistons offer exceptional wear resistance and minimal thermal expansion and allow for tight piston to wall clearances. Ideal for high performance street and track engines. The hard anodized top coating and land ring grooves enhance the durability under high compression and force induction conditions. So while the M42 skirt coating reduces friction for long-term performance, it's got multiple piston heights, so you can get it for whether you got a stroker motor or a stock crank. So go check them out today at Icon Pistons. Click the link in the description below to find yourself a set of Icon pistons for your next engine build. And don't forget to click the links in the description down the podcast for these advertisers that we have on here. So for links to get some pistons, and also Ross Wolf, VW Trends Magazine, and to check out George's videos or my videos or any of that kind of stuff, click on the links. They'll all be down in the description below. So, well, guys, we're going to get into it. We're going to discuss on this week's podcast. We're going to be going over the videos George has recently done, go over some of those details. We're also going to review the shows that I went to, the DKP 60th anniversary and the Cal-LOOK caravan tour that we did, as well as Zorba's in the magazines in Europe this year. Actually, this month, cover both magazines, and lots of other stuff. So without any further ado, guys, let's get into it this week. Roundtable, Bill and George T, and the summer events that took place so far on this week's Let's Talk Dubs.
You probably don't know that there's a new Volkswagen out that doesn't look like a Volkswagen. It's got everything that people who like the bug like. So if you happen to see a good-looking Volkswagen, don't panic.
George T, what up?
Bill T.
So it's been a while since we did a roundtable. Wanted to get you on here. Been I know you've been slammed at the shop and trying to get some time together to come over here. What's new and exciting in your world, George?
Living the dream. Being a VW mechanic and a YouTuber.
In the summertime, in the heat of the summer in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, it's brutal.
It's actually cooled down this week quite a bit, so
It's
not
been
terrible.
actually beautiful this entire summer. It hasn't been too crazy. I've had 2 really rough days in there, but we've had a crazy nice summer. I walk in the mornings at 5 a.m. before I go to work, and it's in the 70s in the morning, which is unheard of in Las Vegas. Usually we're still in the 90s in the morning.
Yeah. So lots to discuss on this week's podcast. We've got certain things that are happening, such as, I want to discuss some of the last videos you put out. So you put out 4 videos over the last month or so, and we've got the bus window frame rebuild, the door vapor barriers, the wing window press, and the bus shifter upgrade.
Yeah.
And so which one was the toughest video to make of those 3 videos?
The last one. The last one was the bus window frame one. And the only reason why that's so difficult to do is there's so many steps involved in doing it. You're filming it. I had audio issues. I mean, just, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong when you're filming a video. But, that thing started as 1 hour and 9 minutes. And if you look at it now, it's 52 minutes, I think, or 54. And that is just editing out every single pause, or if I didn't feel that it actually moved the story forward, get it out of there.
Yeah, it's a.
That was a job. Just that one video probably has 12 hours of editing.
It's a lot of work, especially when you're looking at like YouTube content, right? And there's a bunch of different videos out there, and as you're looking in the space of YouTube and you see the stuff that people watch, it's interesting because I've kind of looked at it from a math standpoint, and I'll watch videos that have a lot of views, and I'll watch and I'll count 1, 2, 3, like how long they stay per frame, right? And a lot of videos are just like content videos or things like that. It's like every 4 seconds, 4 to 6 seconds, things are changing, which is the default that they have in iWindows when you're doing a slideshow, right? It's 4 seconds, or in iMovie. And it's been interesting. I shared a video on my Facebook page, one that was shot in Brazil, and it was a super cool video. I shared it on Facebook, and it was really, I really liked the way the video was produced. And it was some big car show festival thing in Brazil. It was a couple days, and it was pretty rad. The way it was shot was super good, and it had decent music. It was entertaining to watch. There was no verbal stuff in there, and it was like a visual magazine. So it's funny with the YouTube stuff, right? Because as you walked in here, I had a guy that I know call me. He had a problem with his car, called me up, and he's kind of a Zoomer, right? Younger generation. And our generation, we're the first ones that go to YouTube looking for stuff because we didn't have that when we were growing up, right? But these guys have had it and they take it for granted. And it's probably like the generation before us was like, yeah, they got manuals. They don't just grab a manual and look at how to do it. You know what I mean? Versus the way that things are now. And so we'll go on there, and I just took this kid and he told me the year of his car, and I just like punched in the problem he was having online. Boom, 3 videos, like right at the top of exactly the problem that he's having. And it's interesting because with all the things that go wrong with these cars, and with certain model cars, they're synonymous with certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you punch it into YouTube, you can save yourself so much time and frustration, and actually run through a job. I'll give you a perfect example. I had my truck. I bought some new wheels and tires for my truck from a buddy, and it was a bro deal from Ronnie. And Ronnie leans a little more to the Latin side. He had some 22 by 12 wheels, and I was like, yeah, I could probably sneak those on the truck. Anyway, long story short, they didn't fit. I need to put big wheel arcs on my big blue Dodge, so that, because I don't want to lift the truck to do that. And then I'm looking at the video, and the guy's like, it's X amount of dollars, but I'm like, yeah, you know what? But I can do it myself. And then my son's like, I'll help you, Dad. And I'm just like, I'm thinking like,
sounds like a horrible combination.
Right. So I was like, so then I order the parts, I get them here, and then I'm just like looking at it, and it's like, I watch a couple of videos on it. These two guys are like, yeah. I watch one YouTube video, and the guy's like, yeah, we're going to knock out this project, blah, blah, blah. And they're called these high water wheel arcs, right? You can do a 3-inch
You
lift.
actually cut the body?
Yeah. You put 3-inch lift on the car, and you can run 40-inch wheels on there, right? So it's like a super high wheel arc. And I'm watching this video for this guy. And one guy's, I got it at this fab shop. And it's like, yeah, we're at the end of day 1, and we got one side done. And it's like a buddy comes over to his friends, like, we're going to knock this out real quick. And so I just called the shop today. I'm like, hey, I negotiated with them a little bit. Like, you think you could do it for like $200 less? They're like, yeah, we could do that. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll bring it in. Cause I was just like, I don't even want to, like, there's certain stuff that I want to do that seems fun, all the stuff. And this was like, you literally had to take a angle grinder and cut a corner at the bottom of the fender, put seam sealer in there.
Do you trust the people you drop it off with, out of curiosity?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, it's a professionally insured shop. So, at any rate, it's one of those things where YouTube is really good to go on and kind of dry run some things before you do it and see. Because I watched a couple videos of these guys doing it, and that's the other thing. I watched some of these videos, and it's like, I don't want a 20-minute talk about what you're going to do. Let's just get into it. And that's what comments I see on your thing. I like the way you don't waste 10 minutes in the beginning talking about the project. It's like, here's what we got. One of the
problems when I'd look up videos. I would look up I look it up on my truck. So I said, wonder if anybody has any VW videos. And I'd look it up, and like, dude, this guy's got a 20-minute conversation before he even breaks out a synchrometer. He's going to explain to everybody how carburetors work. Nobody needs to know how carburetors actually work to sync a carburetor.
Right.
Just, it's telling you what it needs with the information it's giving you with the synchrometer and all that stuff. And it's like, I know what I'm doing, and I lost interest in moments.
Yeah.
If someone was lost and didn't know what they're doing, all this guy was doing was filling them with a bunch of information they didn't need. Yeah,
there are people that are a little bit of over-explainers. You're here in the studio now, and you're seeing that we've got a couple new bookshelves in here that I was blessed up with some family moving. The guy's like, hey, you want some bookshelves? My wife was like, no, don't bring anything home. I was like, yeah, I'll take the bookshelves. And now that I got the bookshelves, I'm starting to put my magazines in here behind me and putting them all in chronological order. I started building a VW Hot VW's collection. Then someone just gave me like 6 cases of VW magazines. And so now I've got these, and I'm starting to put them all in chronological order. Then I've got, and as I start going through stuff, and especially when you help somebody move, man, you're just like, you look at all the stuff they have, and you're like, holy crap, you got a lot of crap. And I'm thinking, I got a lot of crap, and I got to get rid of some of this stuff. So I'm gonna put my collection here. I'm gonna get rid of everything that I don't need. Like as you see, I pulled out all the Hot Wheels, right?
Yeah.
I got those. I got the MassCar, like NASCAR, but with an M. MassCar is the company that makes the racking. They make these wall-mounted they're like an ABS pressed shelving for your Hot Wheels. You can either have them carded or not carded. They're in my game room now. But I took them all because I literally had 100 of them in a box.
Yeah.
And it was like, what are they doing?
What are we doing
why,
with these? Yeah.
Why did I buy them? And so now I took all the buses out. And I thought I had a lot more than I do because once you get them out of the package, start putting them. But I took them all out of the package because I'm like, I don't care. Everybody else has them in the package, dude. I want to hold them, touch them, give them to my grandkids, play with them, whatever. And they were super cool, real organized. And it's nice. I think we all collect stuff with the vision of like,
one day I'm gonna
hang this up, and this will look cool hanging in my garage and blah blah blah. Because you go in these guys' man caves and like everything is like, there's a lot of stuff, but everything's on the wall, hung up, displayed, all this kind of stuff. And then you come in my garage and it's like a garage sale exploded, and then there was a hurricane.
You had it crated and you scattered it on the floor and then walked away.
Just sprinkled it around. Yeah, so that's my plan. I still got to get rid of a couple cars. I had a guy that was interested in buying the Mexican Beetle, and the challenge with the Mexican Beetle is paperwork because it has not been titled U.S. So anyway, this car is like, it kills me to get rid of because it's such a low mileage, brand new car, but it's like I don't have a place for it, and right now it is so low on my priority. I gotta move the Mexican Beetle. So that car's got 4,500 kilometers, and I gotta get that thing moving. But I just want to make room in my garage, man. You know. So
going back to one of my videos, the every available upgrade in a bus shifter, man, what a difference! Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just so smooth now. Like that I really recommend everybody.
And you don't. There's no vibration coming through the shifter.
Nothing, and just the shifts feel so solid now, like a gated shifter almost. You know? Like it has this index feel to it that it didn't have before. So shout out to Michael over at Dub Fab for making that front one. Shout out to Brian Washburn for making the hanger bushing, and shout out to Ross Wolf for the excellent coupler. Yeah, there's a lot of nice little kit right there. You know,
and we're gonna
and Bird for the shifter, of course.
Yeah, we're gonna be. We'll actually talk about Washburn in a few minutes when we talk about some of the stuff that I did. So you did the door vapor barriers. You did. Go ahead, get yourself a cold one, George.
Liquid death, baby.
And the bus window frame rebuild. You know, it's funny because you look at the videos and you look at the views on it, but then it's like how many people.
Here's the difference, though. So I'm never very interested. It's water. I'm never very interested in getting a lot of views right away. The difference with my videos is because they're tutorials. They'll continue to get views and continue to get views as time goes on. I only put out 2 videos last month, and my earnings are slightly lower than last month's. Slightly lower, and I still have a week and a half to go, so it'll probably catch up to last month's earnings, which isn't a whole heck of a lot. It's $135 I made off the channel last month.
Right? No, it's not. It's not like people, and even people that are getting.
But it's better than a poke in the eye.
Right. Well, I think the thing that's more important is just getting that content out there, because once you find someone that makes good videos, you just continue to watch their videos, and there's something about. I think with a video, it's like if you're doing a tutorial video, it's anytime I watch a tutorial video, because I look them up for everything. It's like I want to log in and go, hey, here's what we're doing today. I'm gonna, in the first 2 minutes, show me everything I need to do the project. Give me an estimated timeline. I don't need the history of it. I don't need any of that stuff. You can do that while you're doing the video. Yeah. But it's like, let's cut to the chase, get it to me. And because I think people typically watch, and I haven't looked at the stats on this, but I think people typically watch probably the first minute of the video to decide if they're in or they're out, right? Yeah. So you're doing that video, and then I just got that 71 bay window camper, which I talked to Michael at Dub Fab. We're gonna get a lowering kit on it. Yep. My buddy Justin at Beetle Barn, who gave me the bus, he says it'll probably get run. So I think that'd be a great video. Like, take that car that hasn't run. Let's go what we're going to go through because I think all the guys get a project, right? And they're like, okay, I'm going to do this. Like, here's the first 10 things you do. And maybe that'd be a good thing that we'll go over is like, make a list of the 10 things that the must-haves you should do when you're trying to fire up a car. Like what fluids you need, what the first couple of things you should do. I mean, obviously there's gonna be a visual inspection, see if there's a rod hanging out of the case or whatever.
Well,
but
first thing you do is just see if the thing turns over.
Right. Yeah. And so this motor turns over, right? But allegedly. So, but I think we'll work together on that, and I'll help you film it and all that stuff.
I got a couple of them that'll be kind of like that because I just picked up that square back and it has an engine in it, and it supposedly
a complete engine.
Yeah, it supposedly was a runner. It had a generator issue. The lady didn't want to fix it, and so she just sold it to Western VW, and then Rodney bought it off of Randy, the owner. Rodney Pinkerton's the gentleman I bought it off of. 6'8" squareback on Instagram. I purchased off of him. He bought it off of Randy 30 years ago. And so that thing was sitting there for quite some time. But it wasn't a blown engine is why it got parked. It was an alternator or a generator issue. So I'm hoping. I haven't tried to turn it over yet.
Alternator.
It's the alternator. But I'm going to pull that motor. So let's look at a game plan like if we're going to do your bus. Because we have intentions of pulling the tank because it's been sitting for 20 years or whatever, and most likely has a bad tank. Then we'd pull the engine. And I would prefer, like I'm going to do with my squareback, is to start it on a start stand. You can be around it. You can compression test it. You can do everything on it while it's out. It's a lot easier.
Okay, but here's where I have a little bit of diversion from there. Most people don't have a start stand. Most people don't.
Correct. So for that one, I would do more of my squareback. Because in the squareback, I would show you need to clean the tank out. Unfortunately, with yours, you have to pull the motor to clean the tank out. You can't try and run it through a dirty gas tank. You have to.
Well, but you got a scope. We can shoot down there and see if the tank's dirty, right?
I got a borescope.
So again, it's going to be the process of like, here's step one. We'll do A, B. So here's your preliminary steps. We'll do these things and then jump in and see if we're going to have to go to the next level or what makes more sense. Because anyway, so we'll come up with something. I did get a new ignition key. I did get a brand new gas tank for it just in case we need it.
Yeah.
And then
not a bad idea.
And
I saw that one has the feed and return lines on it, like two bungs on the bottom, which is actually kind of cool. Because I've been saying this from the word get. Injection is the future, and if you were to build a motor for that, with the stuff the Dub Shop is doing, Mario over the Dub Shop, I think it is, dude. Like that's the kind of stuff I want to see in cars nowadays. Single throttle body.
Tried to get him on the podcast,
injected.
bro. He went on
Dude,
somebody
do the
else's
podcast, bro. Your stuff that you're doing is super cool. Even the videos he's just put out recently with the velocity stack changes, just to show the difference in CFM. If you take this trumpet off and put that trumpet in place, that's the kind of stuff that we need in our scene. Innovation to make things to where they'll run. The same reason why my LS motor has 260,000 miles on it is because injection has kept that thing running at the proper mixture its entire life.
Yeah, it's engine tuning, right? It tunes the ignition. It tunes it's tuning the ignition.
It does.
The advance, the fuel, the air-fuel
fuel ratio is the main thing. So, because think about this. A car sits for 2 months, 3 months, and then someone jumps in it and drives it. And in that 2-3 months, the fuel in the carburetor is now varnished. Your jets are clogged. It's not running right. And what do people do? Do people ever stop and fix it? Nope, they keep pushing it. Let's just go. It's going to clear itself out. Well, in the time it's clearing itself out.
Tune, bro. I'm known to
exactly.
rev tune.
People rev tune it and this and that. But in the time it's taking to do that, they're doing damage to their engine because it's not working on one cylinder of the idle circuit. So that one's running lean at idle. You're creating issues. You're creating problems. And this is why motors have engine failures.
Well, we're gonna
obviously just one point of it. There's other reasons that they have engine failures, but
so speaking of engine failures, during that Cal-LOOK weekend, I took the chop top, had the deck lid fixed, went down there, picked it up, drove around all weekend, and then the Sunday morning I tried to fire it up and get it running, and the car would not run. I still haven't started to this day. Ordered a new coil because it's got one of those.
It's got a Magna Spark on it.
Magna Spark distributor on there. So someone's like, oh, those coils are going out. Someone's like, there's like a 50% failure rate, whatever. So I order a new coil, put the new coil on there, still nothing. I got power going to the coil. I got all that stuff. And so now I think maybe I might take the top of the distributor off, see what's going on. But it's so frustrating because it's just like,
yeah, it might even just popped up.
Finally get the car on the road. And it's like
something so simple like that. Like, because
I tried to move it. It won't move. It won't move. Yeah.
But yeah, I would take the cap off and see if the thing free spins. Like if
Yeah.
it popped up just a little bit and you didn't happen to catch it when it did.
But again, in what we do with classic cars, man, this is just what's going to happen, right? It's always something.
I haven't even seen that Declan in person.
Yeah.
So I'll check it out when we get done here.
So,
Speaking of Scott Gildner, what's up with the TC? Is it in operations?
Yeah, he told me to reach out to him the end of this month, see what we got going on. He started carving some of the car apart at this point, just hitting it with the sander and all that stuff.
Awesome.
So, hopefully we can get rolling on that
I
stuff.
got the motor going for it now. I just picked up a last couple of pieces from Ross Wolf.
Yeah.
A couple of goodies, the vent for the fuel pump block off, and a couple things like that. By the way, they have the fuel pump block off has a Viton gasket as well, which is awesome.
Now, did you do the elbow for the full flow on it? Did you get that all situated already?
Yeah, I got a Berg cover, a Berg oil pump cover, and then I made the setup coming off of for the return line. But yes, it's all squared up and set up now.
Yeah.
See, I remember that from back in the days. My square back in the 90s was full flowed, and I bought the cover from Berg to put it on there. And I remember we clearanced the crap out of my fan shroud. Matter of fact, I think it punched through it to put a full flow fitting for the return line on it because I didn't know back then. It was the first time I ever had a full flowed Volkswagen.
Yeah. No, I mean, we got so much stuff to do. We did. So one of the things I wanted to chat about was the events we just went on. So there was a bunch of events this summer. We did I did a episode where I talked about the revival and the DKK meet and all that stuff. And then the following 2 weeks later, it was going to be just before that, I happened to get invited from a friend of mine to a lowrider show. And they had the original lowrider show here in Las Vegas. And so I was like, you know what, let's go check it out. And then it was like, I don't remember, $50-$80 to get in or whatever. And I was like, we'll check it out. And so I went there kind of just to support my buddy, to support Ronnie, right? Because he had his bagger. He was going. He's like, dude, who wants to go with me? And I was like, you know what? I'll go with you. And took my car there. Realized if you're going to go to a lowrider show, you need to have the whole kit and caboodle, carpet, stanchions, like the whole nine, which is a little bit extra. And had the car
Or just
there.
a really cool car you can park and walk away from. I think he had that covered.
Yeah, but it's not that kind of. I got second place. You know what I mean? I got second place to like a
Trophies are cheap, dude.
a 2000 something. Well, that's the funny part, right? So I looked at the trophy, and it's just a piece of particle board with the OG edge on it. Vinyl laminated.
I wasn't saying their trophies cheap. I'm saying like trophies are cheap. I never go to shows one way, bro.
Hold on. But I'm talking about the trophy, bro. So I have the trophy. Is it up on my shelf?
All right. I see that one is for the RVA, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So I had the lowrider trophy. Anyway, the logo on it's crooked.
Hey.
It's just a stick-on logo, and I'm just like, bro, this is crooked. But anyway.
I saw a dude put a post up where he's like taking a video of this car, and he's like, this car beat me, and he's like all upset about it, and I'm just thinking like, salty, dude. Don't go to car shows trying to win.
Right.
Don't.
Again, it depends, right? Like, here's what I think, though. So, connecting this back to One Crazy Weekend, we're gonna have a panel.
Link it up, Bill.
We're gonna have a panel of judges that are gonna judge the best cars there, right?
Yes.
Like the cars.
With the one where you're specifically referring to the $1,000 best of show.
Let me finish.
Just clear that up.
I got it. That's what I do. So in the heavy hitter section, there's going to be $1,000 prize for best of show in the judged category. So if you've got a car that you think is top shelf, it will be judged against other vehicles. There'll be a criteria put out as to how the cars are judged, as far as every section being judged. What the judges will be looking at and things to that extent. But those cars are going to be separate than the top 20 awards. Top 20 awards are going to be like we did last year, top 20 favorite cars. So you might see a car that you think yours is nicer than, but something about that car got it to get a top 20 based on who's going to be picking those. And it's going to be something where it's like if the car's got a cool style or something, like Patina Greg got an award. He got his car is just dialed. Like his car is, it's all patina outside, but he's put time, effort, and energy in getting it dialed in underneath, getting stuff color matched.
It is a complete package, and that's why I was the judge last year. So the reason why I gave it, because interior clean, exterior clean, motor compartment clean, the wheels clean, like. he has a complete package. Just because it isn't painted doesn't mean there isn't as much work in that car as the painted one next to it. You know,
so there'll be those awards, and then we'll obviously have the builder awards that are going to go to some of those people as well. So
Yes.
for the heavy hitter award, that's a billet machined award that's going to be made by Type 1 Restorations down in Phoenix, Arizona. He's making a custom award, and that'll be given to the person that's also going to have the whoever's going to win the $1,000. So this year there's lots of cool stuff going on between the poker tournament. I just talked to Dan at VW Trans, and the grand prize for the poker tournament is going to be a transaxle from Rick Wright.
oh wow, nice.
Yeah, he's going to do I think it's just going to be a Freeway Flyer heavy duty transaxle.
There you go.
That they're going to be doing for the grand prize.
I might be playing poker.
Getting the second and third place prizes put in place. But I think it'd just be so fun to just see a room full of people playing poker that most of them probably don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And just having fun.
Having fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not serious.
that's going to be taking place on Thursday. Friday's going to be the bowling tournament.
Is there going to be a buy-in thing like you buy into the poker tournament,
Yeah,
like a regular tournament?
With every tournament, you have to pay to play the tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get all that hammered out with the hotel in the next week or so. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be Thursday. Friday is gonna be the bowling tournament during the day, and then the strip cruise at night. And I honestly believe, because we're up at the top of the parking garage, I think there's going to be just a lot of stuff lingering and going on.
Yeah.
I've already reached out to some of the clubs. I talked to the guys from Desert Dubs. I talked to the guys from Salt City, the Salt City Air Suckers. And I told them, I said, I need to know who. So this is for all you guys that have clubs that are coming to One Crazy Weekend. You need to send me a DM on Facebook, Instagram, or a message through letstalkdubs.com and let me know, hey, we're club so-and-so, because we've had Just Cruising here. We've had Wolfsburg's Finest, B-Volks, there's so many clubs that have been here, and we want to park all you guys together. We've got enough room upstairs. It's set up on the top of the parking garage where all you guys will get set up. You get your spot dialed in. We'll get you set up for like 4 easy ups at the back of your spot. So you guys will have to make sure that you guys have a way to secure those down with weights and make sure they're not going to fly up. We don't want any liability to people's cars. I don't want to be having a tough time with the hotel or any of that stuff. So, and I'm going to be.
We're going to allow the easy ups, but it is your responsibility
Well,
as the easy up owner
they've got
to make sure that they are secured down.
Well, no, we'll be making sure if they're not secured, you can't put them up. Like they got to be secured, period. So, other than that, I envision this is going to be great. There's 5, 6 80s cars being debuted. I know last time I talked to Kid Dean was building a squareback / mini truck that he was bringing to the event.
Nice.
And there's a couple other cars that'll be debuting out here, as well as the 80s cars. Andy Finch is building an 80s car. I'm building an 80s car. Tori Alonso is having the Roadster done by Steve.
Is that going to be done?
That's going to be done. Oh yeah, they're already painting the pan and stuff right now. So that thing is looking so
cool.
good. Steve is such a talented builder.
He is.
I mean, the skill set he has is incredible. I'm excited to see that car. There's also going to be Bob Daniels' car is going to be the 68. So we got the 68, the 69, the Gia, and the 60. I think
Doesn't Russell have a Gia coming? And
and then we got the Targa Gia that Russell's building out. So there's a UK car, Targa top Carmen Gia, that's all checkered and patterned and all kind of stuff. So that car will be there. So lots of cool stuff happening for One Crazy Weekend. So that's kind of the One Crazy Weekend blurb for now. Now let's talk about the events that we went to. So 2 years ago, or a year ago, we went on the Cal-LOOK caravan in Europe. And then this year, all of the Europeans showed up on the 15th. And they were here for third weekend and Sunday. And there was a bunch of stuff planned. So the first thing that we ended up doing, and it was kind of a tour set up by Russell Ritchie and some people so that we could go through and check out. Rick Sadler was a part of it, and that the same people that did the Cal-LOOK caravan in Europe were able to come here, and there's probably 30, 40 Volkswagens in it, just like the caravan in the UK. And we went, Thursday was the Lions Drag Strip Museum. I'm sorry, that was a Wednesday. And so Wednesday I rolled up with everybody over there. They were there, and I was just looking through my stuff, and I did make a video for that weekend. It'd probably be a 5-10 minute video of just a bunch of highlights of it. So we did that on Wednesday, And then Thursday, we went to the Schley Museum, and I've got a bunch of recorded interviews with the Schleys as they're talking to the museum and things like that. I've got a bunch of that as well. So that was Thursday, a bunch of stuff at Schley Museum. And then Friday, we did the cruise at Wahoo's Tacos. So that was a pretty good turnout. And one of the big things, if you saw my Instagram live, was Raboback Performance's supercharged motor. Did you see that on my Instagram live?
I did not.
Yeah, bro, you gotta follow your brother, dude.
It was live. I might not have been on Instagram.
No, but it replays. You can watch it over and over. So if you go check out the Instagram live from that Wahoo's Tacos, he did a big monster supercharger that's like it's like a screw type supercharger that sat on top that's got a side draft carburetor on it. And you've seen him working on it, and that's Kevin over there. So we're going to get them on the podcast. They should probably get that thing dynoed coming up here soon. I mean, it's really, really a cool setup. So like some of those setups you see in Brazil and stuff like that, it was one of those setups, super sick. I'm definitely looking forward to having that interview with him and getting some of the details, because I'd like to see the kind of horsepower that supercharged setup builds, because there was a lot of really cool, just the way that it was put together. It was really thought out. I mean, you'd have to put definitely. There's no question. There's decklet standoffs without question on that thing, and then
or have your decklet custom dimpled.
Yeah, you could, but this may be a little bit bigger. But they really did such a good job designing the setup. So that was that was a good time. You know,
there's a dude at your swap meet when you guys have it at the Orleans that has a Vortex supercharger, obviously for a Mustang or something like that. Always for sale. Like the one dude that has all those Mustang parts.
Yeah.
And he's always got a Vortex, and I think he has a Pro Charger too.
Yeah.
But the Pro Charger is like a D1SC, which is giant. But the other one, the Vortex one he has, is a small one.
Yeah.
I keep thinking like that'd be kind of cool to get that set up on a Volkswagen. See how that would do.
No, to
do a centrifugal style as opposed to the root style like everybody else does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool setup, and I'm excited to see the stuff the guys at Raboback are doing, because they do a lot of cool stuff. So go check them out. Raboback Performance on Instagram. They've got a pretty wild supercharger setup. But overall, the weekend was pretty good. The Schley Museum, I still have to sit down with those guys and just get a good interview.
Yeah.
We got quite a bit of stuff while I was down there, but just kind of more of them taking the tour of the shop. And then the Wahoo's Taco Meet was like the DKP cruise night. There was probably 100 cars there at least, if not a little bit more. And then when everybody left, everybody was kind of getting on the hammer a little bit. And then the Saturday was a 60th reunion for the DKP reunion. Got there. That was at the park. I mean, it's pretty chill, pretty laid back. And during that time that I was at that show, I was actually able to sit with, why does his name escape me? Eric Justice. And we sat down, did the podcast over there. So that was pretty cool. Tried to grab a couple other people, but just didn't everybody gets a little bit bashful, right? When I'm like, you guys, you got 30, 40 minutes to kill. Let's go hammer out a podcast. And one of the cool things was the bird car was there, like you were just looking at. So I have the funeral paperwork for Rich Zavala, and he's the guy that owns the Burglar. And interesting story, I was gonna interview him at the Roadster show because he bought the Burglar back in maybe the late 90s, I think. And he's owned it since then. And he was a big bird cruise guy and all kind of stuff. And so it's such a bummer, man, because I was gonna sit down with him and kind of get all his details about owning the car and all that stuff. But to see that car there was pretty cool. I put out a little. I was actually making a little video on the Burglar just to kind of talk about the history of that car and some things like that, and what made this car so special. So I have that video in the process. And my problem is just between the podcast and everything else that I do, like trying to finish editing a video. Yeah. It gets to be a little bit of work because you don't want to put out crap, but you also, in my head, I have a vision, and it's almost like if I had a guy here, I could say, get me photographs of this, and this, and I want to get this, and that, and let's put it together, and I can make the video in an hour. But it's like, oh, here's a great idea. Let me look for this element. Let me find that element, because I just did a video with the full carbon fiber bus body here in town. I have the video. It's 21 minutes long, just me interviewing the guy that developed, designed, and had this carbon fiber bus built. And he talks about things, and I want to have images panning across the screen. So I sent him a list. Hey, send me pictures of blah, 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 blah. He sends me pictures of not that stuff. So because the problem is when you're just watching a static image of a guy talking, it gets kind of dry after a minute. So
have some B-roll to mix into it. But.
Right. So anyway, there's tons happening with that. And then the cool thing, the culmination to all of this was Sunday after the DKP cruise, we got together and everybody from the Cal-LOOK cruise, Dean was wanting to do a walk through history. So then I had these, Dean had sent me some photographs that he had because Dean's writing a book on the history of EMPI. And so he sent me these photographs of all the different locations where EMPI had the R&D shop, where the race shop was, the dealership, like all these things. It was probably like 22 pictures. And I had them mounted on some core plastic, and then we met up and we kind of did, and I gave it a name, Dena's Walk Through EMPI History. And so we drove as a group, we drove all the way to Riverside, and we started at the first location where
EMPI
the original EMPI Econo Motors was, and then went to the second location, then went to where the race shop was.
Are these buildings still standing? Or
some of them are, right? And I mic'd him up. We recorded the whole thing. I've got images, and in my head, I've got this great movie that I'm gonna be making like a 20-minute kind of video on it, with all narrated by Dena Kirsten. And it's so cool because, like, the one place we're at, that's in downtown Riverside, like the building's not there anymore, and it's like this. It's like the old town part and all this stuff. But you can go on Google Images, and I did it, and I can't do it again somehow. Not Google Maps, and you could say, okay, this area right here, take me back in time, and it'll give you all the satellite photos all the way back to whenever. So I'm trying to put those elements into it and all that stuff, so you can see the evolution of the streets, the city, and all that stuff. And it was really cool because we had some photographs of like the EMPI, the inch pincher doing a burnout in front of the race shop, like the R&D location or the warehouse, whatever. And you can hold it and you see it's now like an oil recycling place or something like that.
Yeah.
But you can see the block wall is a specific 70s block wall. That's still there. Like you can line the picture up and get so it was really cool to go through that. And the really awesome thing was to have it narrated by Dean. And so he talks about the whole thing, the different locations. And it was just really neat to go through and check that stuff out. And probably people thought we were just a bunch of wackos, because there's one point we're standing in a back alley, and the back of this building's been closed up, but you could see the outline where the garage door was before, and it was the back of the race shop. And it's like this picture taken from inside the race shop looking down the alley is this alley. So when you kind of line it up, you can see the trees are bigger, stuff's a little different, but it's like you can see what's on the other side of that wall that won't let you in there. But it was just super cool. So that video, I'm gonna really make sure that video comes out really good. And that video is going to debut at the Air Mighty Cal-LOOK caravan that we're doing for the celebration of the Cal-LOOK. So we're going to do that there this month. Martin Greaves is doing a story on it for the magazine for Volksworld. So he'll do kind of a story on it, which is really cool. But the video, I think, narrated by Dean, is just something really cool, because
people who didn't get the experience will get a little bit of at least a blip of it to kind of get an idea of it.
I could do a podcast with Dean every week, if we just picked
a fountain of freaking
just a random subject. Like I looked at I looked at an image the other day. I was grabbing through a 1980 Hot VWs, and I was going through it, and Dean and another guy had gone to a junkyard and got a smashed bug, and it was literally completely smashed in a compactor. And they took it and set it up and put beach sand around it and all that stuff, and did a display for it and all this stuff like it was a show car. But it's just like, and that was like 1980. So it was just, that guy's been around and done so much stuff, and he's just a wealth of information. So anytime getting stuff going with Dena is always a great time. So, but the EMPI History Tour is just going to be, that video is going to be great. So, couple of videos coming up that I got. The first one I'm trying to get out is the carbon fiber video, the carbon fiber bus, which is really cool to see all the details and that stuff. And you'll have to watch a video to check that stuff out. And you guys make sure you go subscribe to George's YouTube channel and my YouTube channel.
At the Wagon.
Yeah, he's at the Wagon. I'm at Let's Talk Dubs on YouTube. And also this month, Zorba is out on the cover of Air Mighty magazine and also Volksworld. So pretty excited about that. Both of those cars, or both those magazines, showing a lot of love to Zorba. And I'm excited to have people see them. I've had a lot of people hit me up in Europe for friend requests, stuff like that, because they've seen the car. And that's made me super excited. I mean, for that car, it's got so much exposure so far. You know, between the video for with Nicole Johnson, between
my video,
your video, the Grand National Roadster Show Award, like that car, you know, has gotten a lot of stuff out of it. So I've been pretty happy with that. And then the last thing that I did was the show in Niagara Falls. So went to that show up there. Greg Stogren puts it on. It's a pretty cool event. They do
Bobby D.
Yeah, Bobby D met me up there, and Friday. Well, the Four Stack Mafia has a campground up there that they kind of get set up in before.
A lot of mafias involved.
A lot of mafias.
A lot of gangsters.
And they, which remind me, I have a Four Stack. Did I give you your Four Stack Mafia shirt? Because I got one for you. Yeah, I got one.
You hear
for
that, guys? They didn't give it to me.
Well, George didn't come by, bro. You gotta get over here to get it. So, he did. The Four Stack Mafia puts on a really cool. They have a campsite up there, and they get it. AJ has been doing it for a couple of years. They all meet down there like on a Wednesday or Thursday, and they're all camping out at this campground. So it's kind of like a buses by the bridge in that area, because so many people come. I mean, Canada's like this place where everybody I talk to is from someplace different. Like they're all from. And maybe nobody lives in Niagara's type thing, like nobody lives in Las Vegas per se, but it's so spread out and so diverse, the scene, that it's, because I've got 4 car videos to put out just for Patrick, for the Rabbit.
Sounds like you need an editor.
Yeah, that's actually what I need. That's actually what I need. So. But I have 4 videos I put out there.
I got a great guy.
I just want to edit and put them together. No, he doesn't have time.
He's got no time to do your videos.
So all those videos will come out this month. The 4 from Niagara's will come out this next week, because I'm just going to put them out. And the ones, but back to the Niagara Falls show. If you haven't gone, you should go. It was a great event. I mean, they do Saturday. I did put that video out, and that particular video for the Niagara Falls show, that one. Has quite a few. It has quite a few. Oh, is this frozen up here? It's got quite a few views on it, because I put it out shortly after the video, but a lot of guys have viewed it because it's got a lot of cool content, because it shows the cruise, and there's probably, I think I counted on the cruise, 118 cars in the cruise, and
that's a lot of cars.
Yeah, and going like all through these kind of side streets and stuff, and over there, like here, most of our streets are like 3 or 4 lanes. Over there, most of their streets are a single lane. Like two lanes, or 1 lane going each direction. So, but that cruise was pretty cool. It met up at a park, had a little break in between, and then after that, it did. They cruised down by Niagara Falls, and so in the evening. They had the Cadillac Hotel, which there's like maybe 30 rooms there, and that thing sold out pretty quick. And it's kind of the cool spot to go. I did a little video on Friday night for that, with that video, just kind of the cars that were all hanging out in the parking lot. And then the next day's the show, and I'll tell you what, man, it was hot, dude. It was unseasonably hot. It was 84 degrees. The humidity was like...
Yeah, that's different when it's humidity.
Bro, the humidity was like 80%. And I'm telling you right now, it was so hot. My wife's like, I need to go sit in the car and turn the air on, because I don't feel good. Like, she was feeling like she was going to pass out. It was the type, bro. It was the type of heat. Like, I'm sitting there trying to do a podcast with AJ, and I'm like, I need a microfiber, because I'm just sweat pouring in my eyes. Like, I'm just sitting here sweating. I haven't exerted any energy at all, and I'm over here dying. So
yeah, monsoon season that we get here every once in a while. Like, we think it's humid. No. Like we'll reach 30%. We're like, oh, it's so
crazy.
muggy today.
Crazy,
And as
bro.
soon as you start getting in them high double digits, like when we used to live in Houston, it'd be 85 degrees, but it's 85% humidity, so it's miserable outside.
Yeah, it was.
I'll take our dry heat. I'll take our dry,
No,
crispy heat.
When I came back here, and I'm like, bro, it's 107 today, and I don't feel near as hot as I did when it was 84
There's a
degrees,
difference, man.
Dude,
I know it's an
cooking.
annoying thing when you live in Vegas when people, but it's a dry heat. They're 100% correct about that.
Well, so when I was up there at that show, there's a cool vibe to that show because the way the
Do
cars.
they say, yeah, but it's a wet heat?
No, they don't. They're like, oh, sorry, it's hot. Sorry.
Sorry.
It was a good show. I liked. There was a lot of water pumpers over there, man. And I thought,
Dude, back east,
why don't we have a
scene.
bunch of water pumpers at our show? Like, because there's just a lot.
Yeah.
Over there, I mean, if you watch that video that I put out, there's a huge contingent of water cooled cars there.
Back east has a huge water cooled VW scene.
Yeah, I don't know
from
what the deal is.
first generation all the way to modern ones now. Yeah,
Yeah,
And like when I would look for parts when I had my my fourth generation GTI, you would find so many parts back east, especially interior parts, because their cars rot out before the interiors go bad. And we have the opposite here. Our interiors rot out before the car goes bad from the heat.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's definitely a great show. I would not hesitate to go back. I'd like to go check out some more East Coast shows.
Yeah.
In the upcoming year, we do have some East Coasters coming out for one crazy weekend. So we got to return the love and get out there and visit them. I did run into my guy Chad over there, and Chad's got a super dope bug. He's Guava. It was Instagram Guava something. Let me look it up real quick. But
You met him at this Niagara show.
yeah, he was. He's from Maryland, but he's from the VI originally. Cruzan Guava is his
Insta handle.
Instagram handle, and he took Best of Show over there. He's got a super
Is
sick.
this the dude that you had on the podcast doing the show, the VI show, Virgin Island show?
No, that's a different guy. All these guys are from the Virgin Islands. And so they talked about the Virgin Islands show that they got going on. Then I got more information on it that's happening at the end of this year. And so I'm trying to see what I can do to get down there and check that out. But my plan is to go there for Christmas and New Year's and check out that show down in the VI. It's pretty on point. Talked to our boy Queasy, and he had a little mishap with Frankenstein, the bug. He's got the 55. Mm-hmm. He had the streets are wet over there, and when you got a lot of power, you got to be careful.
I'll get out
because it'll bite you, and it bit him, and so he's on a path to recovery of getting it back up to ship shape. But he sent me some pictures, and he did some collateral damage. So big ups to you. Get that car back on the road because we got a cruise out there. But he was in last year. So here was a cool thing that I got. They had sent me a book that they did for last year's show. It's in the house. I'll show it to you. And it's a hardbound book for the show, for the second year they did the show. And it's pictures from the show, and it's descriptions and talks and all this kind of stuff. Pretty slick. So I'm excited to do that. And I think that'd be a rad show to go to. Even if you don't bring a Volkswagen, you want to go to the Caribbean, check out some Volkswagen stuff and kick it, dude. Like that. Or I should say the U.S. Virgin Islands. So I'm looking forward to that event, and you guys will find more information out. It's called the VI Bug Out is what it's called. So you guys make sure you check that out. As I get more information, websites and all that stuff, I will give you guys all the information on it and let you know how to get set up, where to stay, all that stuff if you guys are going to get set up to go do it. But the VI Bug Out 2025. So December 27th, 28th, and January 1st.
You know what's crazy is I looked up flights, and you can fly to the Virgin Islands right now for about $300. Not then.
Not the end of the year.
Not the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like freaking $900 or something like that.
Wow,
Like it gets a little insane. I'm like,
there's always a little something over there. But yeah, I mean, and a lot of people go to Hawaii, the Virgin Islands, all that stuff during Christmas, right? Because they want to get out of the cold. So that's busy season for the East Coasters. I think they head down there and do that. But yeah, the guys in the VI are doing a lot of stuff. I just did that podcast last week with the guys from Cali, right? Cali Barbecue. That's got Cali, who owns the Subaru powered Bug that was built by my guy Lawrence over there, with the Auto Fanatic is his Instagram handle, and that car, we did the Tesla AC in it.
Yeah.
I mean that car is dialed in pretty nice. In addition to the fact that it has all that, I would love to have a Subaru powered Volkswagen with electric air conditioning, all that stuff, and just have something where you just got gobs of power, reliability. Because again, I think back to my Subaru Sand car, and I used to I was on that thing like wide open for an hour, and then go back. I got no oil leaks. I got nothing, and I fire it up. She fires up, and I go back out again. So
Subas are temperamental, just like everything else. If you get the wrong combo, if you push it too hard, they pop.
I'm just talking about if it's stock. But the only reason mine I had an issue with my Sand car is because I had bad gas in it.
Yeah.
I had some low octane gas. Had I never had that, because I took the car for 4 seasons, no issues other than one clutch issue, But again, I really love the technology in that car, and I think there's so many cars, especially Type 3s, that you could just do that Subaru swap and just be good to go, because it's like no one's ever looking at the motor in a Type 3.
Yeah.
And to be in your imagine driving your Type 3 year round here in Vegas with air conditioning, remote start, like boop, fire it up, let it cool down, go outside, cruise the car around.
With the AC setup, that's the nice part of there. Like to be able to press that button, that thing fires up ahead of time, cools the car off for you, and you're not actually running the motor, so no. It's not
he
just
said
idling.
He said you just turn the key on and you cool it down. And he put the big Tesla AC, and he said you could put a smaller one there, but because the one he pulls like a crazy amount of amps.
Yeah.
But he said they put it on 1 and it'll freeze you out of the car. Like he puts it on 3 and it's unbearable.
So I did an electric compressor that we purchased off of Summit for Todd West Bug.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. How did that?
It worked great until he ripped the whole bottom. I don't know if his girl was driving or he was driving it, but he ripped the whole condenser setup out from underneath the torsion housing.
So that setup was sitting lower than the pan?
It sits lower than the pan. Unfortunately, it's just the way the Gilmore design is. It sits underneath the pan.
It sits lower than the pan?
Yeah.
Wow.
So unfortunately, it ripped all the wiring out of it when it messed up. But I mean, we had that thing set up, and it worked great. It actually functioned very well.
Cool. And the crazy part is he damaged it, and he was like, "Nah, I'm just taking it off." And I'm like,
Well, I said we can fix it. Just needs to all be rewired. But also the problem was it had punctured the condensers, which then it's like we got to recharge. You got to replace this, replace this.
I mean, bro, for the options of like driving your Volkswagen during the summertime, like in the dead of heat, and people are like, that guy he's driving with his windows up. He must be insane.
And the fact that it's electric.
Yeah.
Now also we only had a 90 amp alternator on that, and I think that compressor pulled 60 amps. So that's really bringing it close when you consider the other things running on the car as well while you're driving it.
Right.
So I think that might, like kind of what the gentleman was talking about in the podcast last week, how he had to get a 240 amp
he
custom
uses
made
the Bernie Bergman
amplifier.
setup uses
a Rabbit. I had one on my single cab.
No, he uses the
used a Rabbit.
No,
the one I had used a Rabbit alternator.
No, I understand. Now he uses the GM one wire alternator. So it's like you can get those GM.
Like what's on my LS?
Yeah, but when you can buy those alternators, and I think they're machined specifically for that, but you can send that alternator out and have it run for like 400.
Down for sound and all that stuff is right down the street here. Sells them out of a box that'll do like 400 or 500.
Yeah, 400 amps. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because they're made to push big systems, so it's nothing new in that world.
Yeah.
Our cars were very limited when it comes to what they're offering out of the box for our cars. Obviously, 90 amp. Somebody I think makes a 125 amp alternator for our car, possibly.
Well, the one you have the 100 amp alternator.
Well, factory is 55. Then 75 was the first upgrade. The 90 amp is what I have in my bus, the EMPI Stealth or Black 90 amp alternator, and it's done great.
Yeah.
I obviously have I have additional grounds on mine, stuff like that. Make sure you guys do that if you're putting any sort of painted or powder coated, or even if your gen stand is painted or powder coated, make sure you ground the chassis of your alternator.
Right. So, yeah, I'm looking at electric air compressors over here on Summit, like you were saying, and they're like, I'm seeing them for a 4 seasons air conditioning compressor for $449, and the next one right next to it is $1,600. $1,600. So there's quite a
The
variation.
1600 might come with because we had everything was Gilmore except for
The compressor.
the compressor, and
And
Ed,
you know what?
I made the lines or I made templates of them, and Ed made the lines for me. Ed was a good dude. Ed Mua
Yeah.
Mua
No.
used to own Gilmore. He actually started that company.
Yeah. By the way, the guy from Gilmore, the guy that bought the company, passed away, and they've been trying to sell the company. I don't know if they have had any luck selling the company,
It's a
but
bummer.
it'd be a great business to get into, air conditioning your Volkswagens, especially if a guy perfected the art of doing electric AC. Because if you're doing electric AC, it doesn't matter what motor you have in there.
If you noticed, AJ Sims is doing a setup right now,
Mm-hmm.
and he says he's going to bring it to market.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely a need because, put it this way, the people that that drive Volkswagens today, they have the money to spend $3,000 for an air conditioning
Yeah.
setup. If that means you can drive your car year round,
Yeah.
because the reality is the heat in these things, the stock heater will heat the thing just fine. If you got air conditioning in that, bro, you're done. You drive it all year round. So anyway,
I tell you, my diesel heater makes it much more enjoyable to drive my bus in the wintertime.
yeah, but it's a bus. It's a bus. You need a diesel heater. You don't need.
I'm just saying, like for driving in the wintertime, it makes it really comfortable.
That Mexican bug, that you'll have to turn the heat off.
Yeah.
Like when you're driving that in the
My
wintertime.
single cab was that way. Like it got
just-
so hot inside of it from the
yeah.
stock. I get that, but I'm just saying, like, for something that doesn't put any draw on my engine or give me some
Right.
other ugly, stupid exhaust, to have a nice heat in there makes it enjoyable to drive in the wintertime because
Yeah.
I can turn it on before I get in it, and when I get in the bus, it's nice and toasty as I'm driving home.
So
that's a good little hookup.
Yeah, so wrap it up. I got some projects that I'm working on. So I got more projects that I need in my life.
You and me both.
And I've got the 69 bug that used to be the Mach 11 is now. I actually reached out to a guy who does airbrushing and stuff today to do the airbrush graphics and all that stuff on there. And then I've got a painter set up to paint it. As soon as I get the paint supplies from paint is going to be supplied by
Automotive Arts.
So appreciate Automotive Arts for supporting us with supplying the paints for all the projects that are being done this year.
They also sponsor the paint for last year's One
Correct.
Crazy Weekend Gia.
Correct. The red Gia was painted with Automotive Arts last year. So if you guys are looking for paint, go find you a painter that can get you some Automotive Arts.
Locally in Las Vegas, it'd be at CTI Industrial Supplies, the Automotive Arts distributor.
So get you guys some of that. And then I've also got the Bull Run bus I got so much to do with that. And it's just the problem is I put it up on the rack and it's out of the way. So I think I gotta take the Mexican bug, put it on the top rack, then take I just got to shuffle some cars around so I can get the bus out because I got a guy that I know is a woodworker that can help me do all the lower benches and stuff, and then I can just get it over to upholstery and get it done. Working on trying to get to a decent upholstery guy here in Vegas, and then I've got the 73 Gia TC that's over at Scott's place. Plan is he's going to go Gildner, yeah, he's going to be going through that. Hopefully, we'll get something happen with that thing here.
We got to get a stock
In the
with
next
beam
year.
now. We
Yeah.
made a 4-inch narrow beam for it, and that's going to be way too narrow for the front of that car. So we got to get stock ball joint adjustable beam. I wonder if Marie might have one in stock.
No, I mean the beam in there's stock and it's fine. It's got drop. I think I don't even think it has drop spindles on it not right now. I don't even know.
I don't think it's drop, but
I have drop spindles and drop.
we
spindles.
can just put the drop spindles on that. But the problem is then there's no adjustability. You can't fine tune it.
Right.
I always prefer to do an adjustable beam.
But yeah, so that's a little ways out. Is the Gia TC? Hopefully next year sometime I'll have that, and then my 51 split window. Bought the wide and rear fiberglass fenders for that. So I'm down there to Buddy. So hopefully get them painted, and I get the car painted. Just get it back together and get it over here. So got a lot of that stuff happening. What do you got happening in the shop? Anything exciting you're working on?
Just finishing up a 67 square for James Brewer. That'll be hitting the streets. What else we got? I got way too much stuff going on there. Actually, I do when I think about it. I'm also working on the Thorns right now. I got the seats in. I'm hoping next week to have
No
my
one knows what the
Claire's-
Thorns is. The 21 window bus.
The
That's
6721. If you watch my
Color-
videos, you know the Thorns video.
I know, but what color? But these
Titian
some of
red.
these people don't, right? So it's
Titian red, silver, beige
There
on
you
top.
go.
It's a 67 Deluxe, a stock restoration. So it's
being
got the
done
platinum mesh
100%
interior.
stock.
Yeah. So it's like a gold with like a mesh on top, like a tan mesh. Claire's doing my panels. She sent me a message saying I'll actually probably have them next week. I received my seat covers from TMI, so I'm going to start wrapping seats and possibly going to tackle the headliner myself.
When do you think that? What are you shooting for to get that project done?
I would like to have that thing on the road by September, like the first week of September.
So
to be
that
a
thing could be
driver.
at one crazy weekend.
They live in Newport, so it probably won't.
They don't live here?
They have a house here, but I bet it. I mean, I'm sure if I talked to them, said, "Hey, can I keep you here for one crazy weekend?" They'd probably let me. But
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
it all depends. I also, if I don't do the headliner, I may have a shop potentially in California do it, who I already spoke to, and then it would be in Long Beach already for them to take it to Newport Beach. That's where they live, so
Yeah.
it would make it easier for them
It
to.
seems like a lot. So, well, anything you have coming up that's going to be interesting, new, and exciting, or future videos that you have coming up besides the Git?
Future videos, I got a couple ideas, but I don't want to talk about them until they're put into fruition. But they're going to be a little more, instead of a tutorial, I wanted to, so I got my wife, she has a 55 3-fold rag, and it's got a bunch of small stuff on it. So I want to do a cleanup video on it, showing things that I'm doing to just make it a tighter car. We're going to change out fender beating. We're going to do a little bit of metal work to it, but like nothing crazy. Potentially blend down the rear deck blitz because the color doesn't match the car at all. And we're going to build door panels for it because it's so silly. It's got the H pattern seats in a 55, and it does have those seats in it. But then someone just put some gray heat-seamed TMI panels in it that would be like for a late 60s bug in it, even though they're on the 55 boards. So I took the boards apart. We're going to redo some door panels for that. So that should be a fun project to watch. And like I said, instead of more of a tutorial, that's just going to be like check this out. You can take this car that's nice and let's make it a little nicer, a little cleaner. So, my wife actually wants to drive the thing. She can't stand the deck lid. Like, that's her main beef to it. The deck lid is not the same color. And she's like, it looks ghetto when it's not matched in color.
Oh, I don't really notice it.
It's white. It's just like a different shade of white. I notice it. I think it looks hideous too, but yeah. So, by the way, everybody, Nevada Off-Road Buggy is closing its brick and mortar location this week.
That's right.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
there will be a Saturday, July 26th at 5 p.m. There's going to be a get-together in the parking lot, like a send-off for Nevada Off-Road Buggy. So let's make sure, if you're in Las Vegas and you're listening to this, let's make sure we get some heads out there in your Volkswagen. I'll be
she's
out
been
there.
selling a lot of stuff. I was there the other day.
She is.
There's a lot of stuff that's on sale over there because she's trying to liquidate as much stuff as she has. So a
There's
lot
another
of
thing,
stuff is 50% off.
If you go by there, she's making deals right now. She doesn't want to have to move a bunch of stuff. So, if you've been waiting on that part, go down there. Make her an offer on it. Make a reasonable offer. Don't be rude to her. Help Marie clear out some of that inventory over there. Send Nevada Off-Road Buggy off right. Now, my understanding is she's going to open up an online store, which awesome. I think that'll work. So it's not the disappearance of Nevada Off-Road Buggy, but it is the disappearance of their brick and mortar shop. And this is what I try to stress to people in my videos. If you do not support your brick and mortar shop, you're going to lose your brick and mortar shop. And that's a real bummer. Now, everything that we're going to do in this town is going to be either through Damn Volks in Boulder City, which is quite the drive, or we're going to do it mail order. So, but I use Damn Volks quite a lot. I actually got 3 of their motors going right now.
And then with respect to some things that are coming up, I know that I'm going to be headed to the Great Canadian VW show. That's going to be happening in about 3 weeks. It's taking place on, it's going to be taking place the August 15th through the 17th. And there's lots going on. I'll let you know on that right now. So the Great Canadian VW show has the following events taking place on Friday night. I've got to search this here. Great Canadian.
You're going to be going down with Joey Giordano from Workstat Restoration.
So that's put on by CIP1, the Great Canadian VW Show, Shine and Swap. So Friday, it's going to be drag racing. It's going to be taking place at Mission Raceway in BC, and then Saturday there's going to be a couple open houses. Be over at HPA. On Saturday, there'll be open house, and also one at a place called Toonzilla. So there's a pancake breakfast at HPA Motorsports and the Fort Langley Lions Club up on the grill. Pancakes donation by HPA Motorsports at 9 a.m. And then the 5th annual Hot Dub Summer Barbecue. That's going to be by Dubbers and Toonzilla Open House. So it's going to be that's going to be taking place at Tunezilla. So that's going to be happening in the evening. So you got breakfast, then you got evening, and then you got Sunday. You've got the event that's going to be taking place at Twassen Mills in Twassen, BC. So I'm going up there, picking up Joey Giordano on the way. We're going to cruise through Sacramento, grab him, and then we're going to head up to the border. We'll cross the border. I'm bringing Zorba. He's bringing the convertible, I think, and we're going to go check that out. So that'll be cool. I haven't been to Canada, so if you guys are close, you're in the Seattle area, you're anywhere up in that area, why don't you guys head up to the Great Canadian VW Show weekend and hang out for the weekend? So,
well, you've been to Canada because you were in Niagara,
right?
You just haven't been on the west
right.
coast of Canada.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of Volkswagens up in that Pacific Northwest area that should go up there and make the trek, man, to the Great Canadian VW Show. So that's happening. That's going to be August 15th through the 17th. So for more information, I don't know if they've got a website. I know they have a Facebook page, and I shared it on Let's Talk Dubs Facebook page. So go check them out, and that's cool. I think right now, George, I don't think we got much else to discuss. I will. So other than that show, the next show I'll be at after that is going to be September. I'll be at the Air Mighty show in the Netherlands. So looking forward to that. And then if you guys don't forget One Crazy Weekend, man, we have only a little bit of time left. Well, you got 2 months to book your rooms, 30 days out from the event, which means September 3rd. Well, yeah, September 3rd, around September 2nd, September 3rd, 30 days out, the room booking is out. Now, we got quite a few rooms sold right now, but you guys need to get your rooms booked. Get your rooms booked for One Crazy Weekend right now. And don't forget to go register. If you are with the club, make sure when you register, you say, hey, I'm with X Club, and these are our guys. List your guys' names, and I will put all your registrations to the side and make sure all of you guys get designated parking spaces. Because this year, we're doing all designated parking spaces. So when people leave and come back, you go right back to your same spot. You're going to have your car number in your window, and you're going to have your car number on your space. And so this way, no drama, no stress. We're going to have nothing but a great time this year. So
make it easy.
That's it. Looking forward to that.
We're also going to have a really cool photo op set up for people.
Yep.
We're going to have 2 photo ops, actually. One is going to be like a nighttime strip. You'll be able to bring your car over there. We're leaving it open for people to bring their cars they want. And another one is you enter that we got to get on the designing of.
Yeah, so
make a really cool backdrop for
there's
people.
There's a lot of cool stuff happening this year for One Crazy Weekend. Hopefully I'll see. I'm hoping Kenny Fitzer has the drift bus done.
That'd be cool.
That'd be rad to have.
He'd be one of the heavy hitters going for that $1,000 prize.
So looking forward to. There's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out by then because that's just before SEMA. There's a lot of stuff happening for this year. So
let's hope so.
Well, guys, don't forget to support those who support your favorite podcast. Go subscribe to George's YouTube channel and my YouTube channel. Links in the description down below in the podcast. And until next week, guys, later.
You probably don't know that there's a new Volkswagen out that doesn't look like a Volkswagen.